Hello, I'm Warren Hoyt, and I want to share with you about my experience with the Writing Center. Actually, I only had one experience with them. I called in, I made the appointment, and then we did a collaborate session. The Writing Center coach was very helpful, a young lady named Elizabeth. She was very helpful with me. But we had tech problems in the beginning, and that was kind of frustrating. Couldn't hear her, she couldn't hear me. Then we had this echo thing, and she kept saying, "Do you want to talk on the phone?" Anyway, we finally got that sorted out, and talked about my paper. What I liked, she was going over my first Williams summary. What I liked about that was that she had the whiteboard there, and she could bring up my paper and actually go over certain points, and we could see them there. So I thought that collaborate was a really neat thing to work with. Um, but that session was back on September 16th, so I don't really remember a lot of details about it. I really feel like I'll use the Writing Center again, I'm sure, and I would like to take advantage of them and take uh, just receive the benefit of listening to their comments and corrections and so forth. But the smart thinking thing is what I really got the most help out of in this course, because there were more submissions. I sent more things to them, and like one of my papers I sent twice, and and their corrections were in writing where you could see them right there and just go over them and think about them. So I remember that more, the smart thinking stuff. Um, for example, one of the coaches there pointed out that I had a hanging modifier, and I hadn't noticed that. It's just something I missed, that I put a modifier at the end of a sentence instead of close to the word that or the subject that it was supposed to modify, so it was kind of confusing. And also, another coach pointed out that I used too many commas in places that didn't need them. Another coach talked to me about something I'd been taught differently before. The use of punctuation with citations. Like um, I would put a period at the end of the sentence and then my citation in parentheses. He said, no, put the period at the end of the parentheses. And also he told me not to put citations in the middle of a sentence. But with Williams summaries, we had so many citations that I would put, the first part of my sentence would refer to one thing, he said. So I put my citation right there, and then my second part of my sentence would refer to something else. I put another citation. He told me not to do that. And so, I took that advice and I've changed ever since. Also, they corrected me on the proper use of that and which. I never really learned about that before. I used which more than I guess I should have, and I suppose I understand that which is more limiting and restricting, and that is used for when it's less restricting, and so I'm trying to work on that. One of the smart thinking papers I submitted, I even had to be verbs, hard, rend my garments. I had two to be verbs, but I mean, that would have been a major grade reduction, so I'm so glad that they caught that. I couldn't believe I missed that, but I did. It's almost like one of those puzzles where you have to look for, some people see 16 references to this and some people see 8 or whatever. It was like that for me. I also had one instance where the conjunction I used wasn't really best for the flow. I used the word and I changed it after this coach corrected me, and I put while, and it just made the sentence flow a lot better. On the final project we did, where there was a summary of an article we read, the advice there was real helpful to me, because I have a hard time with word count. I'm always going past the word count. And so these coaches will tell me, you didn't say this and you didn't say that. And I'm like, how can I say anything more? I've got too much as it is. But like in that last project, they told me, hey, you got to have a thesis statement at the beginning and then kind of structure what you write based on that thesis sentence, so that you tell the people what you're going to say and then say it and kind of summarize and say what you said. So that was real helpful to me, and I restructured my whole little writing project there based on what they said. So, I appreciate both the Writing Center and also Smart Thinking. I'm sure they're both just really useful tools, and I'll be using them a lot more as we go along. But my Writing Center experience was very limited, and the Smart Thinking experience was more extensive, so that's why I chose to talk about that. May it go well with all of you. Live long and prosper. The Lord bless you.